not guilty of...
This tragic mother burned the murderer who raped her 13-year-old daughter alive after he was released from prison. Viewers said that this was the punishment that this demon deserved, and people did everything they could to prevent this great mother from going to prison. In 1998, Maria del Carmen Garcia's daughter Veronica was pointed at a knife in Spain by her neighbor Antonio Cosme, who even took away her innocence like a beast. She was only 13 years old at the time. After a hospital examination, Veronica had multiple fractures and abrasions on her body, and she has suffered from serious mental illness since then. Although the hospital determined that Veronica's injuries were critical, the perpetrator was only sentenced to 9 years in prison and was released in June 2005. On the first day Cosme was released from prison, the first thing he did was to go to a bus stop near Maria's house, approach Maria and taunt her, and ask, "How is your daughter?" while grinning. Despite all this time, Cosme showed no remorse for his horrific crimes, and even went to a local bar that Maria frequented, which once again aroused Veronica's fear, and she even showed signs of self-harm on several occasions. Overwhelmed with anger, fear, and hysteria, Maria went to a nearby gas station and bought a tank of fuel. Then she went to the bar where Cosme was, tricked the owner into luring Cosme to the corner of the bar's back alley, poured gasoline on him, and then set him on fire. Cosme suffered burns to more than 90% of his body and died in hospital a few days later. Maria was soon summoned to court, where she confessed to her crimes and was eventually sentenced to 9.5 years in prison for murder, which was later reduced to 5.5 years on appeal. The mother's case won sympathy from all over the country, and people did everything they could to prevent her from going to prison. Thousands of people signed petitions, and medical records showed that she suffered from severe depression and anxiety to help her get a suspended sentence. But her pending pardon application was rejected by the court. Just like that, a mother who fought for justice for her daughter had to rot in jail for 5.5 years. Do you think this sentence is fair? Leave your thoughts in the comments section.